be what pleases you. So long as there is peace with you, that's all I can do. So yes. Oh, wow. Taking you back. 1974. Classic film, Claudine. This is Brother Heathel, Griot's Corner, Back to Black Classic Film Review. Had to take a moment tonight to introduce to some and reintroduce to others this beautiful movie starring the late, great Diahann Carroll, the incomparable, legendary James Earl Jones, the outstanding legend as well, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, in this classic film, Claudine. We're going to be reviewing that on this evening. Just to let you know, Claudine Price, the story setting, Claudine Price, who's a mother of 6, on welfare, but yet has to work on the side to take care of her family. So she gets a job working as a housekeeper in a white suburban neighborhood. She encounters a garbage man by the name of Rupert Marshall. They get to know one another. They go out. They fall in love with each other. And from the onset, it looks like everything is smooth, but there's some dynamics involved in their relationship that they both have to look at and address and deal with. First of all, Claudine was on welfare. Number one, she had 6 kids. And she had to deal with the welfare system and how they tried to encumber her from being able to purchase certain things, because from the money that she receives from the welfare, they only wanted to see those products that they approved of in the house. So she was dealing with that. And then Rupert was also a father of children from a previous relationship as well. And so it showed his struggle with whether or not he wanted to take on that responsibility as well, to not only love the woman and take care of the woman that he loves, but also to have to be a father for her children. Now, most of her children were receptive of Rupert, except for Charles. Charles, the eldest son, portrayed by Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, who was part of a Black culture movement during that time. As you know, the movie being made in 1974, there was still Black power advocate groups of that era. And so this movie captured that. It captured how him and the group that he was with was questioning some of the decisions that the city was making as it related to Blacks in employment and in other opportunities. And so the last thing on his mind was having to deal with this new boyfriend that his mother, Claudine, was bringing in the house. And so it ultimately culminates in an exchange that him and Rupert have in a bar in the climax of the film that really showed the love that they had for Claudine and subsequently the love they had for one another. And so this movie was so outstanding in that regard. Some things to know about Claudine, the movie itself, in the production of it, it was Diana Sands who was the original choice for the role of Claudine. They did not want Diahann Carroll. Diana Sands is significant because she was Beneatha Younger in the 1961 classic film A Raisin in the Sun. And by this time, Diana Sands was battling cancer. And she was really extremely ill during this period. And so she could not assume the role, but she recommended that they choose Diahann Carroll to take the role of Claudine. They were friends. And what was interesting, in the late 60s, Diahann Carroll had starred in the television series Julia. The producers and director didn't want Diana Sands. They didn't think that she could fit that film. Interestingly, in Claudine, the producers and director didn't want to take Diahann Carroll. So in fact, Hollywood at the time and still Hollywood today, some would argue, there's still this tight casting that comes especially with Black characters. And so what Diahann Carroll had to ultimately end up doing was strongly advocating as an actress for the role. Her argument was that she's an actress. She can portray the role of Claudine. She knew that role well. She grew up around Black welfare mothers. And so she knew she could encapsulate that. Not only was her role outstanding as Claudine, she was nominated for an Academy Award, you all. Now that's significant. That's significant because no one had been nominated to that degree from the Black community since Sidney Poitier in the 1963 film Lilies of the Field, where he ultimately won the Best Actor award. Even James Earl Jones, his role was so outstanding and phenomenal, he was nominated for a Best Actor award in the Golden Globes. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs wasn't nominated, but should have been nominated. His role and his portrayal of Charles was outstanding. We all remember Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Some of us can go back in the 70s when he portrayed Freddie Boom Boom Washington in Welcome Back, Kotter. He also portrayed Joe Jackson in the Jackson television series a few years later. And so this movie captured the culture of that time in the early 70s. It captured the struggle that Black communities and families were having in moving into a new sense of self-actualization. It showed that struggle, but it also showed community, bonding, family, love, and commitment. And that's what's captured in Claudine. I can't talk about this movie. I can't talk about this movie enough because it's one of my all-time favorites. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you haven't seen it in a long time, go check it out again. It's Claudine, 1974. This is Brother Heath L., Griot's Corner, Back to Black Classic Film Review. We're going to be reviewing many more films during this era of Black History Month. Right on, you all. Peace and blessings.